I've been playing War Thunder from Africa for over a decade. And honestly, I still don't know what's worse. My teammates, my ping, or my aim. For my longtime viewers, you probably already know I live in Africa. And for those of you who are a bit more investigative, you may know that I live down here in the southern part of the continent in a country called Zimbabwe. And yes, if I don't sound like what you expected,
then I don't know what you were expecting.
Most War Thunder videos come from Europe, America, or Asia, but gaming from Africa is a very different experience. The servers are far away, the ping is questionable, the internet can be expensive, making updates feel like a financial decision, and sometimes the real enemy is not the tank in front of you, it's your connection. So, in this video, I want to show you War Thunder from an African perspective. What it is like playing the game from Zimbabwe. Is the game playable? Does the ping make you worse? Or is it just a skill issue? Are tanks harder or planes? And most importantly, can you actually have fun playing the game in Africa? Now, many of my longtime viewers already know the story of how I got into War Thunder. So I'll summarize it here. I started playing War Thunder in 2015 at the good old age of 9 years old. I know what you're thinking, war crimes gang. But at the time, we were just looking for a new game to add to our massive collection of 2 games on our PlayStation 4. And the reason we chose War Thunder was simple. I was interested in World War II and aeroplanes. But I didn't know what I was doing. Absolutely nothing. Did I understand battle ratings, lineups, silver lines, crew skills, ammo types, or why my tank kept exploding? Also not. But I loved the game. I got banned a couple of times for team killing. I lost all my silver lions. I spent my hard-earned golden eagles from the tutorials on useless premiums, and somehow, through pure confusion and childhood determination, I managed to grind through rank 1 and 2 Germany and USA. But then, because of a lot of different reasons, I stopped playing. The internet was expensive, our controllers broke, and at some point I completely forgot the password to the PlayStation Network account, which was actually my dad's, because as you know, I was too young to have an email or a PlayStation Network account. But old enough to join the battlefield. Yeah, war crimes. So, for about 3 years, War Thunder disappeared from my life. Then, in 2020, during lockdown, I got back into the game. Internet prices in my country were starting to come down, and my parents' income had improved because they managed to shift their business online. I also managed to reset the password to the PlayStation account and change the email to my address now that I was old enough to have my own address. Email address to be specific. I wasn't living by myself. So, for the first time in a while, playing online games became a little more realistic. During this period, I managed to grind through rank 3, but let me be honest, I still did not know a thing of what I was doing. I was better than my 9-year-old self, obviously, and I understood the grind finally, but I was still making the kind of decisions and playing in a way that made my teammates question whether I installed the game by accident. Literally. Then came 2022, and if you were playing War Thunder around that time, you probably already know where this is going. The game's economy was painful, absolutely brutal. BR compression felt terrible, and I had reached the point where I had unlocked a lot of vehicles, especially aircraft, but I could not afford to buy them, crew them, or properly use them. I managed to grind through all of rank 3 and most of the rank 4 aircraft and tanks, but I was dead broke. Not in real life, well maybe, but definitely in War Thunder. So I slowly started pulling away from doing regular battles and spent a lot more of my time playing custom battles. I was tempted to purchase Golden Eagles and Silver Lions multiple times. However, Sony doesn't allow people outside of these countries to purchase stuff on their store. So yeah. Then by 2023, senior year high school came along and the workload basically forced me to retire from gaming entirely. Not officially, but there was no press conference, obviously. No emotional farewell video. I just disappeared shortly after my most popular video at the time, How to Grind Silver Lions, which I should probably test whether this video stood the test of time. I got back into gaming and War Thunder in 2025, but even then it was very on and off. Work got in the way, internet was unreliable, life was busy, but this year I'm properly back. I still don't game as often as I'd like to, but I'm back enough to ask questions that inspired these videos. So, when it comes to playing War Thunder from my country, a question that many of you may have is War Thunder playable in Africa? Honestly, yes. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen my videos. At least here in Zimbabwe, War Thunder is completely playable. The biggest issue isn't always the gameplay itself. The real problem is getting into the game in the first place, because updates and the game's download size can be incredibly painful. When I first started playing in 2015, internet in Zimbabwe was expensive. In fact, we had the most expensive internet in the world. Compared to today, it was also very slow back then, because a lot of the internet connections used an old piece of technology called ADSL. Most people have capped internet packages in Zimbabwe, including myself, or pay-as-you-go packages as they're called. Basically, you would buy a certain amount of data each month, and when it finishes, you would have to buy more. Going back, my family used to buy around about 30 gigabytes a month, which was about $30, I believe. And back then, War Thunder was 9 gigabytes, not the behemoth it is today. 30 gig for the whole month. That was one War Thunder update and a prayer. Today, things are better. My family now buys around 555 gigabytes for $55. And if you don't understand why that sounds weird specifically, it's because it's a special package. You can get unlimited internet, but the problem is that it can cost $100 and sometimes even still have a hidden limit. So yes, War Thunder is playable, but updating War Thunder from Africa is sometimes a real boss fight. During certain times of the day, the game can literally take decades to update. This leads me to my next question. Does ping make you worse? Or is that just an excuse? And the honest answer is not really. At least most of the time. My younger brother is a great example of this, because he plays on the same kind of connection with the same performance as I do. For us, our average ping is usually between 100 and 200 milliseconds, which sounds bad if you're used to a lower ping, but in War Thunder it's not always that noticeable. War Thunder is not the same as a fast-paced competitive shooter where every millisecond feels like a life or death situation. War Thunder is slower. Positioning matters more, awareness matters more, knowing where to shoot matters more, And most of the time, if you die, it's not because of your ping. It's because you drove into the open, like some sort of, like you had some sort of immunity. So no, ping is not always the reason I play badly. Sometimes, actually most of the time, I just got a skill issue. But there are moments where the ping becomes a real problem. Once it starts getting into the 300 milliseconds and above range, you really begin to notice it, especially when you're using a fast-moving vehicle. It can start causing jittering or teleporting slightly. Sometimes your inputs will be delayed. There was once a time I was driving a Tiger, and I tried to press my brakes to avoid falling in front of T29, and my brakes failed. That guy took me out. There was no tomorrow. Sometimes you fire at the same time as the enemy, and the game decides that actually you died first before you fired. So ping does matter in some scenarios, but is it the main reason that you can lose? Most of the time, unless it's above 300, it's the painful answer is it's most likely your fault. However, in my opinion, air battles are definitely higher when your connection gets bad. In ground battles, high ping can be annoying, but you can still work around it. You can position better, you can avoid relying too much on reaction time, you can play more carefully. But in air battles, everything moves fast. Your aim matters more, timing matters, and when your ping gets too high, planes start jittering all over the place. Sometimes it becomes harder to aim properly at the enemy. And in worst cases, you can even lose control of your aircraft, which is exactly what happens when you're in a dogfight. Nothing says skilled pilot like your aircraft briefly becoming a PowerPoint presentation. So, if I had to choose, I would say ground battles are more forgivable, air battles are playable. But when it comes to the connection starts acting up, you feel it immediately. Now, when it comes to rage quitting, do I rage quit? And a few years ago, the answer would probably have been yes. In 2022 and 2023, I used to get genuinely frustrated with the game. The economy annoyed me. The matchmaking annoyed me. And the matchmaking still does annoy me. The economy is a lot better. The BR compression annoyed me. My teammates annoyed me. My own decisions annoyed me. Everything annoyed me. But coming back to War Thunder now, I think my mindset has changed. I've accepted that a lot of the time when I die, it's my fault. I have to take accountability to that. Or I simply got outplayed, which is a good thing for the other player. Sometimes I made a bad push, sometimes I trusted my armor a little bit too much, sometimes I thought I was him when I was not him. And I've accepted that my teammates are human, at least most of them, probably. So these days I try to laugh it off, or if something ridiculous happens, I just enjoy the chaos. And if I feel myself getting genuinely frustrated, then it's time to go to the Wild West of War Thunder. Please go ahead and watch that video, or just log out. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. A very painful game, but it's still a game. This brings me to the bigger issue. The hidden African gaming experience nobody talks about. And that's because multiplayer gaming is not something we do often in Africa, unless it's LAN play, especially in countries like Zimbabwe. Not because people don't like games, people love games, but the barrier to entry is high. You need hardware, you need internet, you need storage space, you need updates, you need stable electricity, and you need time. For a lot of people, that's not easy. That's why games like Minecraft and Roblox are popular. They're easy to access, easy to run. They don't always demand the same level of hardware or massive updates. But games like War Thunder are different. You need a decent device, a stable connection, and you need to have enough data to survive updates. I've been lucky. My siblings and I were blessed to get a PlayStation in 2014, which is what I play on. It's now pushing 12 years. Can you believe that? I also have this 2012 laptop that I have, this Dell, that I use to edit my videos. But not everyone has that. So when I say I played War Thunder in Africa, it's not just about ping or access or cost, or internet. It's about trying to enjoy the same games as everyone else, but from a region the gaming industry often forget about. However, one thing I've learned is that some people will make it work. I've seen people play Microsoft Flight Simulator on computers from 2014 on integrated graphics. Some people are just special when it comes to computers. I once got Minecraft to run on a computer that didn't even have the drivers to support the game. But with a lot of the context out of the way, the answer to the question, can you play War Thunder in Africa, is
another zone captured. We've captured most of the strategic zones.
So, after all that, is War Thunder playable in Africa? Yes. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. The ping can be rough, the updates can be painful, the internet cost can be annoying. And sometimes the game reminds you very clearly that you're thousands of kilometers away from the server. But you can still have fun. You can. And honestly, that is probably the most important thing. War Thunder from Africa is not impossible, and it's not miserable. It is not always smooth, it's not always fair, but it's playable, it's chaotic, and sometimes it is genuinely fun. And for me, this game has been part of my life since I was 9 years old. From the PS4 days, to lockdown, to taking a break, coming back again, War Thunder has somehow stayed around. Even when I forgot the password, or when the internet was expensive, or the economy was in trouble. Definitely not supposed to say that. Even when I had no idea what I was doing, which, to be fair, still happens. But guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I know it's been a while, but today I want to make something a bit more personal and different. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and I'm trying to build a real community here around gaming in War Thunder and the African gaming experience. I've also been working on launching a Discord server soon, and it would be amazing to have you guys there when it goes live. So please like the video, subscribe so that you don't miss the announcements, and let me know in the comments where you play War Thunder from. Thank you for watching, and see you all next time.